When you're single in your 30s, you go through a bit of a weird stage in life where you start grieving the life that you thought that you were going to get. I'm 32 years old and I've been single for about 16 years. And for quite a while, I've been thinking about the life that I really wanted and I didn't get. Because I don't really understand what I did wrong to not get it when everybody else did. I've always wanted to have the white dress wedding, wanted to go on the romantic holidays, thought I'd be buying a house with someone, but I get to introduce them to my friends and my family, and that we'd buy lots of dogs. I just don't think that we talk about this enough. You're allowed to grieve a life that you wanted and didn't get. You can feel sad about it. You can be jealous of your friends that did get that life, whilst also being happy for them. And whilst you're feeling all of that, you can also be quite happy and excited for a future that you don't know what's going to happen. For some reason, we live in a world where people think that you can only be happy or sad. 99% of the time you're happy, you're also allowed to be a little bit sad too.
Those 32 years she claims to have, she looks a lot older. I don't want to sound offensive, but it's just what you notice. How sad it is to see women in their 30s with no husband and no family. The female loneliness epidemic keeps growing. But before we get started, drop us a like and leave a comment below. Your support is what keeps this content going. Let's get into it.
Quickly want to jump on here and tell you why it is so elite being single in your 30s. All my money, it goes into me. My skin, never been better. All I do is spend my money on facials and Botox and self-care treatments. Look at this. This is like glowing. Can you hear that? Silence, no screaming babies, no children, no children. All I'm gonna do tonight is go out, drink champagne and go for dinner. What? That's all I have to do. And then tomorrow I'm waking up and I'm actually flying to Melbourne because last week my friend and I decided to go to the F1. Like literally last week we were like, let's go. So we just go. We go. Like I have to pack my bag tonight and I'm also going on a date when I land. So that's a bit exciting and I don't know what to wear because it's a breakfast date. But these are my worries. These are my worries. Like my worries are literally what I'm going to wear to the F1 in Melbourne, like, and what I'm going to wear on my date. What?
The worst thing about being single in your 30s is how many people pity you. It's seriously comical at this point, and the only question you get asked is, are you dating somebody? Do you want kids, or how many kids do you want? And do you want to get married? And honestly, I'm so happy for all of my friends who are in loving relationships and married and having children, and I think it's so beautiful and I love children. I'm so excited to be an auntie, but I don't think I want that for myself, and there's so much pressure as a woman to have kids by the age of 35 and be married and have a home and a husband and all of that stuff, which I think is beautiful, but just because I don't want it doesn't mean I'm like bad or anything. But people make you feel that way because that's what they expect from you. But life is short, first of all. I'm happy with my hobbies, my independence, and my own place where I can put things where I want it, when I want it. I have so many beautiful friendships in my life that make me so happy. And of course, if I met somebody who I really valued and added to my life, yes, of course I would see where it goes, but I'm not searching for it. But people look at you with sadness and say, oh, it'll happen for you. But it's like, what if I don't want it to? Like,
This is a question for women in their 30s who are single with no kids, no dating life, basically just single and living their life. So if you're not one of them, keep scrolling. But if you are, welcome and tell me what you're doing because I am exactly that person. Honestly, I've been finding myself watching too much TV and I hate socializing. What are you guys doing? Like, what are the hobbies that you're picking up? I need to change something in 2026 because I cannot be a homebody, even though that is me. I love staying home, but I feel like I need to go out and enjoy life. So what are y'all doing? I hate going out so much that I literally built an entire gym in my garage. I'm never gonna meet anyone.
Pay attention to the pattern. The first one looks for things to keep herself busy, trying to get out of her own head. She's the party girl, always out, always at every event. Anything to avoid being alone at home. She's always talking about skincare and makeup, always trying to sell the idea that her life has some kind of meaning, but all she really has is a packed schedule and nothing else. The second one masks her sadness with her friendships and the story. She tells herself that she's never alone because she has girlfriends. But she is alone. She has no one. Your girlfriends have their own families, and if you're showing up at their house several times a week, at some point you start to become a burden. The last one at least accepts reality. 3 women, same destination, the wall. Because the wall doesn't forgive.
This is a little bit of a plea to all my girlies in their late 30s and early 40s, because I think I need to hear from you, because I'm feeling lots of feelings at the minute and I just need to know if anyone else is feeling those feelings so I can feel a little bit less alone. I'm 37 and a half and I'm single. I've never been married. I don't have children and I live alone. And I am increasingly feeling, if you're feeling the same, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Almost no one else in my life is in a similar life stage. The people that I see on social media are maybe feeling the same, but they may be in their late 20s, early, maybe mid 30s. And I just think it's different at 37 than it was at 36 than it was at 35. And I'm sure it's going to be different at 38, 39 plus. One of the best things about social media is that there is a kind of community out there for everybody. And, you know, like being a human is not a unique life experience, right? There'll be people going through the exact same as you. And sometimes that kind of camaraderie and that community might just soften the blow a little bit on the days that you might need it to. Those will be the people that will know not to say it'll all be okay, because it actually might not. It's also incredibly hard to share this because what I'm really scared of being met with is pity. If you are a woman who is single and childless in your late 30s, that happens a lot. I just wanted to put this out there because I'm hoping that the comments will then be flooded with other people who maybe feel the same. So if you're feeling like that, you don't feel alone too. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm probably now gonna go and watch Heated Rivalry again. Okay, bye.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
What's surprising isn't so much what she said, it's the comments on that video, because it went viral. Tons of women were saying the same thing. Women of different ages who feel alone. Women who have nobody. Women telling her, you can do it. That man will show up when you least expect it. The female loneliness epidemic is on the rise. And this is what radical feminism produced. It poisoned the minds of millions of women, drove men away from dating, to the point where women are hitting the wall at a record pace.
I wonder if any women that are in their 30s and single right now can relate to me on this. So I am 34 and I am single. I live alone. I'm in the UK. I would love children, and I, of course, would love that fantasy dream relationship. However, I'm not willing to settle. And a friend asked me the other day, how do I feel about the thought, like what does it make me feel when I think about bringing a relationship into my life? And it actually really got me questioning whether I actually even want a relationship. But because what it comes down to is like, I don't want mediocre love. Like I'm not accepting that. I am not settling. I've been on a good few dates recently with some nice men. Two. I've been on 2 dates recently with nice men. There was nothing wrong with these men, but they just were an it. And it was on like both terms. I think for both of these men equally, we both thought we knew it wasn't it, you know? And I wonder if I'm asking for too much, and I refuse to believe that's a thing. I've also had friends in the past tell me to lower my standards. I'm sorry, what? No. But also, am I willing to let someone in that isn't incredible? No, like I'm so at peace with being alone that it's going to take a lot for someone to enter my life in that way. Can anyone else relate? Because I equally would love children, and I am so aware that I am 34 and I ain't getting any younger. Time's not slowing down. Yeah, does anyone else relate to that? Like I'm so happy being alone, and I would quite happily spend a year not dating. But I do really want a relationship, but not with a mediocre man. Like, does that make sense? Or is it just this climate at the minute? Like, are all men just mediocre? Like, dating apps are tragic, right? Yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you can relate.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Not every man is a loser. What happens is that every man you go out with gets held up against the ideal man you've built up in your head. You don't bother getting to know him because from the very first date you're already waiting to be impressed. There are hundreds of women just like you. In the past, women had a natural process for falling in love. The man would court her, earn her trust, make her feel comfortable, and then she'd fall for him. Now she expects the magic to hit on the first date. She's waiting for a man so impressive that she can say right then and there, he's the one. That's exactly why men are choosing younger women. Women who don't come loaded with a checklist. Women who are willing to get to know someone without a set of expectations already in place. And that's why, at 30, these women slam into the wall.
I am literally gonna die fucking alone. Like, it's Saturday night, I'm like in bed crying because I just can't do this shit with these men anymore. Like, every time I just am like, hey, you've ghosted me. Hey, you've. I'm just not going to waste my time and stuff. They come back and make me feel 10 times shitter than I already felt. So, context, I've been talking to this guy for 2 weeks and, like, it was just so hard to decipher what he wanted. He would FaceTime me and stuff and we'd talk, but I just felt like there was nothing really, like, he wasn't, like, really there, like, trying. Like, for example, like, I don't expect a guy to message me all day, every day. Like, fuck no, we've got lives. But he would message me, like, hey, how was your day? And I'd be like, yeah, good, it was busy. How was yours? He'd be like, oh, it was crazy. And then he'd send, like, another 2 messages. And that was really it. It was, like, nothing. And I, like, tried to, like, get to push it out. Every time we FaceTimed, it was the same conversation over and over. And then there was a point where he didn't talk to me for like 3.5 days. Like, sorry, I've been so busy. And I'd be like, I was like, you ghosted me. And he's like, no, I didn't. And then last time I spoke to him was Thursday. And he's like, oh, we should go out for drinks on Sunday. Context, he asked me out a week ago and said, let's go out next Sunday for dinner. So he's forgotten he already asked me out. And then he's asked me out again. And then I haven't heard from him for like 2 days. And I was like, look, I'm just not going to waste my time. Why am I going to waste my time? He then goes, oh my God, I gotta stop crying. And then I messages me back going, why would you think that? He goes, this is all to do with your dating history. So it's my fault. It's back on me. And that's what makes me feel shit. Like, it's my fault that he's like, you didn't message me. He's like, this is just all to do with your dating. I'm like, I don't do that. I'm not insecure like that. And it just annoys me because you're like, what do I do? I don't know. Do I just settle and waste my time for someone who doesn't really like me? I don't know. I'm just so tired of it. I'm so tired of them making me feel like shit.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
She's talking to a Chad. That guy has you and several others. He replies once a day. Women get torn up when they lose the player, but most of them pull this same move on the guy who's actually into them. Chads mess with their emotions. They make them feel that absence, that anxiety, that uncertainty. They'll always be your greatest ally as a man. This type of guy makes her feel like she has to work for it. He makes her doubt herself, makes her feel undervalued. And that's exactly what keeps her hooked. I can guarantee you that if he sends her a message, she'll come crawling back.
Women.
Girls who decided to wait until 30 to have their first child. How's your experience? Because I think people don't talk a lot about this topic, and it's normal to be pregnant in their 20s, early, mid, late 20s. But more often, I see people who wait until 30. And also, in my situation, it's not my fault that I didn't get pregnant before I turned 30, because I simply didn't have a man that I want to have child with. And thank God I waited to finally have that feeling. But I simply cannot stop thinking, is it more difficult because your body is not the same as in your 20s? How long were you trying? Did you go with your husband to fertility clinic before? Like, Please, girls, share this information more.
I love when people say, like, you're the reason that you're single. Yeah, obviously, if I wanted to get into a mediocre relationship, I could easily do that. And newsflash, almost every woman on the planet could. Because for most women, it is not hard to find a man who will date you. It is hard to find a man who you actually want to date. And I'm not talking about guys who are good looking or make a lot of money, because there are a lot of those guys out there. The truth of the matter is that most women want a guy that they're attracted to and a guy who wants to make them happy. That does not mean a guy who buys them nice gifts and takes them on expensive dates. I'm talking about a man who, when his partner says, hey, this thing you do makes me feel XYZ way, or this bothers me, instead of saying, this is just who I am, I'm sorry that you feel this way, or I don't know what else to say, he says, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was an issue, and I'll make changes moving forward. And before anyone says anything, yes, this is how I operate as well. I want to make people happy, especially if we're going out. If you come to me with a reasonable problem or a reasonable emotion, I am very willing to listen and adjust accordingly. But unfortunately, in today's society, I don't think that's super common. I think people always want to make excuses and always want to fight. And that's just not what I'm looking for. So yes, I am the reason that I'm single. And I'm very comfortable waiting until I find someone who fits into the dynamic that I know I deserve. And you guys should too.
Then keep waiting. This problem of women calling the average guy a loser when that guy is 90% of the male population. Women live inside a bubble created by social media, where they believe a man needs to be sensitive, hardworking, a provider, and emotionally available all at once. The whole package. But that's not how a man's life works. The world walks right over a weak man, and on top of that, that type of man doesn't even attract them. Just ask any woman what kind of guy she'd want, then ask her how many of her exes were actually like that. None of them. As for the woman who waits too long to have children, she has a 50-50 chance of never having them at all. Waiting sounds good in theory, but fertility drops with age, and that includes men's fertility too. She could end up never having a child. We've reached the end of the video. Before we go, the questions are for you. Why do you think the female loneliness epidemic keeps growing if women supposedly have more freedom than ever before? Why does a woman call a normal man a loser, but gets completely hooked on the one who treats her badly? If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot and keeps us motivated to keep creating content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.